Hi guys. Today I have the day off from work and thought it would be fun to make a video going through a really quick morning stretch routine that I typically do some variation of this before I go to work in the morning. I work at an office where typically for most of the day I'm in front of a computer, kind of sitting in a chair, pretty static. And I noticed that if I wake up in the morning, even just do some sort of like quick stretch, it really helps me feel good throughout the day. I typically will come home and also do sort of a longer stretching routine, which maybe I'll make a video of that. But I thought this would just be good. I think it'd be helpful just to show people just what something really quick can make a big difference. And just walk you through it. So typically in the morning I'll just leave my mat out in front of my bed. I'll wake up. To be honest with you, I don't even put on like yoga clothes or workout clothes or anything. I just put on like a robe and just do this in my room. So one of the first things I do is I'll come over to my mat and I'll just sort of hang loose, with my knees loose, not locked, but just sort of loose. Hang my arms down, hang my head down, sort of engage my back muscles, sort of like arch my back up, really kind of wake everything up, hang sort of loose, maybe move back and forth, pedal my feet a little bit, and then slowly kind of move it into sort of an easy downward dog. So sort of like walking my hands out, walking my feet back, and sort of staying in this position. This position here is probably, I think, the most important. If I'm really running late for work, and I don't have really time to do any real stretching, this will be the one stretch that I do. I think it makes a big difference, at least for me and my back. So sort of staying in a downward dog, but a really sort of mobile downward dog, where you're sort of pedaling your feet out, keeping it loose. I like to sort of try to place my head between my shoulder blades, kind of keeping my arms and my back all straight, my neck as well, keeping my legs bent. You don't need to you can be up like this if you want. I like to actually keep my legs bent and sort of put my forehead almost to the ground, keeping everything straight. Again, pedaling it out, and then, having a mix of arching my, not arching my back, sort of dipping my back with my butt in the air, and then arching it, sort of like a Halloween cat. Arching it, putting my head through my shoulders, really getting that arch, feeling it in my upper back. Pedaling my feet out, being on my toes and the balls of my feet, pedaling it out. Again, if this is all you do, so from here you're like, okay, I gotta go, and that's all you do, something is better than nothing. From here though, if I have time, again from this position, I'll typically take my leg and bring it forward between my 2 feet. So I have sort of my feet and my hands sort of aligned, taking my back foot and putting it sort of my feet flush against the ground, my back foot. And then just staying here for a second, sort of stretching it out all in here, all on this other leg. Sometimes maybe even lifting my back foot up, my back knee up and keeping my foot on the ground to kind of stretch out my feet. Sometimes I'll bend it back, keeping that front foot, toes sort of on the mat. Remembering to breathe. And then typically what I'll do is to switch. You can just sort of, switch your feet. I tend to stay in this position, curl my toes up on the mat to sort of lift my body up. And I like to step it forward in a nice sort of fluid motion, and then step the other foot back. And then do the same thing. So different foot, opposite from the one you just did, up by your hands, back foot, toes flush against the mat, Just giving it a nice stretch. Again, maybe lifting that back knee up, putting it back down, maybe sort of bending it backwards. Get a nice stretch in here. Remembering to breathe. From here, I'll very quickly sort of get my legs wide, trying to put my feet on sort of both far corners of the mat, and then just do a quick kind of stretch for my hips and my legs. This is a really nice one too if you have time. Again, if all you have time to do is sort of the first moves that I showed you, sometimes that's all I do in the morning, and I think it's helpful. I think this is really good to kind of wake your hips up a little bit, which again, put your feet kind of at the corners of the mat or as far as you can go, and then sort of stretch it over. This is a pretty kind of common stretch. I don't think this is anything kind of groundbreaking. Making sure to keep your hips kind of square on the mat if you can. And I like to sort of fan my arms over, making a point when I'm right here to sort of like have my shoulders sort of back. So in this position have my arms like this and sort of just making a point to engage those upper back muscles. Feels really good for me. So again, as you're sort of in one position, fanning it over, engaging that upper back muscle, and then going to the other side. And again, this is supposed to be just sort of a quick in the morning routine. Again, for me in the evening, I might do a similar variation of this, but kind of go into it more. Stretching it out. Kind of going in the middle, stretching it out too. Again, feeling it in your hips. Oh. Feeling it in the hips. Again, I like to really kind of feel it in my back, again, because I'm sort of at my desk all day, and I make a point while I'm at my desk to sort of have nice posture and sit up straight and all that good stuff. But really trying to, in the morning, engage those back muscles. I'm going to be using them all day. Really making a point as I'm stretching to sort of like arch my back as I'm sitting up. Really trying to feel all the different muscles and sort of everything in my spine kind of working. I might quickly sort of do a little butterfly position, again, just to sort of loosen my hips up, back straight, neck straight, remembering to breathe. And then I might put both legs forward. And from here I'll actually make an effort to sort of like roll my ankles out. Sometimes when I'm laying in bed, if I am really lazy and just can't seem to get myself out of bed in the morning, I'll lay in bed and sort of, like do one of those in bed. But I'll make a point, other than that, to point my toes, flex my toes, roll them out, maybe roll my neck out as I'm doing that. But really trying to keep my feet kind of loose, since again I'm going to be sitting for the most part of the day, not really engaging, my feet or, walking around or anything like that. Trying to kind of get them as loose as I can. Flexing my toes out, just kind of waking all those muscles up. Again, remembering to breathe. Maybe do a quick one of these. Feeling all the muscles in your legs when you do this one. Kind of as deep as you want to go. You can kind of point your toes when you do this. Whatever feels good. Again, remembering to breathe. Remembering to drink a lot of water. And that's pretty much it. For me, the focus is more on my legs and my back and my feet. My arms. If you need to, do a couple of these, that's always great. I focus more on my back and my legs. So yeah, hope you liked this video. Again, I just encourage everyone to do something in the morning before they get going with their day. I think a little bit can go a long way to kind of make your body feel good. I know for me, if my body's feeling good, I'm a lot less stressed, a lot more productive. this helps me just wake up too. I typically don't have coffee first thing in the morning, and I don't really eat breakfast first thing in the morning either. I sort of have to let my body wake up, and this is a really helpful thing, even just to kind of boost my metabolism a little bit so I do get hungry and sort of ready for breakfast. This just kind of helps my whole body get up. So I hope you liked it. Comment below if you liked it or if you didn't like it. I might again do sort of a longer stretching routine. Typically, again, this is what I do in the morning, and then after work I'll come home, eat dinner, and then do sort of a longer version of what I just showed you with a couple different extra moves kind of added in. Maybe I'll do a video like that. So enjoy the rest of your day. Keep working out. I'll link some videos down below for sort of longer stretching routines by people that know what they're doing more than I do. So yeah, hope you liked it. Have a great day. See ya.